All right, welcome, one and all. And put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me and see me well. Put a 1 in the chat. You can hear me and see me well. Welcome. There's a little delay from the live between when I say it and when you get it here. And can you all hear me? Check 1, 2. Put a 1 in the chat. Excellent. And I want to welcome a number of people before we get started, as more will be joining us. And this is a banger of a show today. Exposing possible corruption in Union City, New Jersey, with Mayor Brian Stack. This is an exclusive story that no one has covered. And we're going to give it a few minutes as people are joining us, but I want to give shout out number 1 to Scalzo Photo for producing the show, doing a lot behind the scenes here. Thank you, Scalzo. You can join his channel, scalzophoto.com, and he does some work with Sean of Long Island Audit as well. And so make sure to subscribe to Scalzo Photo. Also, Long Island Audit is awesome. Make sure to subscribe to him if you are not either. And shout out to John Denicola as well. Huge shout out. Thank you, John, for your moderation. I really appreciate you and taking the time to do so many of my lives. And Abstract Echo, great to see you. Fing, 7 Cities, Dubwubs, Peter Van Duren, JC News Now, you're awesome. Mark Navarro, great to see you here. And Just Julie, Demontoid, Lloyd Coulter, and so many. Now, I won't be seeing most of your chats while we're doing the show today. And the format will be this. The first is I will be sharing with you what I have discovered about Mayor Brian Stack. Now, how did I come to the story? I went just a few weeks ago, about 3 weeks, Good Guy Activism had asked me, hey, would you like to go out and do a First Amendment audit? Sure. He said, hey, let's go to Union City. Okay. He didn't have any particular reason to choose Union City. And he lives in the New York City area, so let's go. I had no idea what would happen as a result of that visit. And the short version, which is in a previous video that I shared, which make sure to check that video out. And someone could put it in the chat as well, John or someone, the last video on Union City. And the short story is this, is I went to Union City and I walk in to see if the public employees would respect my right to record in a public area, a public building, We the People's building, in publicly accessible areas. And as soon as I got there was a woman named Darlene. She called someone. I got to call a supervisor. I got to call whoever. Maybe she called the police too. And just because I had a cell phone and I was recording my interaction, she freaked out. Other people called the police. I was in Mayor Brian Stack's lobby. It's really our lobby, We the People's lobby, but he likes to think it's his. And while I was there, a number of people were freaking out because I was recording my interactions. That's very professional, very respectful. I just wanted to find out, to discover more about what makes Union City wonderful. And no one would tell me. It's like, what's wonderful about Union City? Hey, I'm considering moving there. You never know. And then they started saying, well, the mayor's Mayor Brian Stack. Hey, what's wonderful about the mayor? No one would say anything. And I didn't know Mayor Brian P. Stack from Adam. I have absolutely no ill will toward him whatsoever. I wish him and his family nothing but the best. However, what happened after people called the police when I was simply video recording with my cell phone? There was one Detective Haber who came up to the lobby of Union City, the mayor's office. And he asked basically, what was up, what's going on? And the moment I told him, I'm simply recording my interactions here, he immediately said, of course. And he said to the women at the front desk that I have a right to record anywhere that's publicly accessible in the buildings. And he very politely and respectfully educated the front staff. And so with that, I was blown away I got to turn my phone off. That's distracting when people are texting me here. I was blown away at how, not just how professional Detective Haber was, but that he honored his oath that he took as a police officer to protecting the constitutional rights of we the people. And it was me personally that day. There was no attitude. There was not, hey, let me, flex my police muscles here and threaten him with arrest or walk around. In fact, I heard one of the people there had said that, oh, he should have walked around and followed me around or removed me. And when I saw the exemplary job that Detective Haber did with me, I acknowledged him. Yes, I do police audits. And the worst enemy of a good cop is a bad cop. Because all cops aren't bad by any means. But I found a really good police officer. And I acknowledged him on camera. And he was friendly, he was professional, and he absolutely understood and protected my right to film in publicly accessible areas in our building, We the People's building. Now, that would have been the end of it. I posted that video, giving him great commendations and showing Darlene that she didn't do the right thing. And she was in the court records room or the court payments room, actually. And I would have never knew anything about Brian Stack other than his name. However, apparently in Union City, New Jersey, under the control, the lordship, from what I've come to learn, of Mayor Brian Stack, no good deed goes unpunished. Detective Haber was an exemplary example of police officers in Union City. He made your city look great. And I know there are many people from Union City watching this right now. Police officers, city workers, inner circle of Brian Stack. And Brian, I know you're watching this too. Detective Haber, was an exemplary example of what a great police officer does. Doesn't shred my rights, doesn't attempt to intimidate me, doesn't flex muscles that shouldn't be flexed. However, the phone calls and the emails and the social media messages started pouring in, telling me that Detective Haber, who was in the records room in Union City, New Jersey, was ripped from the records room because Mayor Stack didn't like, from what I was told, that Detective Haber protected my rights. Apparently, he wanted him to be more threatening or to remove me or to threaten me with arrest or something. So Mayor Stack, who is not the chief of police, but this is very complicated but very simple. Mayor Stack runs everyone, from what I've been told. He runs the chief of police. Chief Puccini is apparently Mayor Stack's little butt boy. He will do whatever Mayor says. So Detective Haber is ripped out of the record room, put on patrol on a really poor shift, 4 p.m. to 12 p.m., and he is made to work on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And they claim, oh, we didn't retaliate. This has been in the works for a long time. I call BS on that. Detective Haber did not deserve that. However, the calls and the emails and the social media messages kept pouring in every day, with people talking about pay to play, retaliation, corruption. The list goes on and on. And I knew nothing of Brian Stack in Union City. But let's delve into it now. And this show today has two parts. The first, I'm going to share some of what I learned about Brian P. Stack. And I want to make it very, very clear that I am making no statements whatsoever. I am simply asking questions, investigating, sharing some of the allegations that have been given to me about Brian Stack, as well as sharing with you some media reports that will shock you. And Brian Stack has been the mayor with an iron fist for over 23 years in Union City, New Jersey. And oh, by the way, he's a double dipper, happens to be a senator, the state senator of New Jersey. Oh, he happens to be the head of the Judiciary Committee in the New Jersey Senate. He gets to pick all the judges and the prosecutors. He gets to fire prosecutors if he doesn't like them, and even helps to pick, as the head, the Supreme Court justices. Oh, and by the way, he doesn't have a degree at all or a law degree. So let's start unpacking this now. And I want to thank Scalzo again, and you're going to find out more. And by the way, this story is so convoluted and so complex, it will take me months to unpack and share with you. And I am simply committed to the truth. As I said, I have no ill whatsoever against Mayor Brian Stack whatsoever. If everything's on the up and up, he has nothing to fear. If it's not, then he has maybe some problems, shall we say. So let's get right into it here. Now, tonight, we delve into a story that resonates with the pain and struggle of so many. A tale woven in the very fabric of a place now infamous called Union City, New Jersey. Our focus of our investigation, which will take months, this will be a series, a continual series, where you will learn more and more about the inner workings of Mayor and Senator Brian P. Stack. Now, as I shared, Mayor is not just the mayor, he's also the state senator and head of the Judicial Committee in New Jersey State Senate. Now, question so many have asked is, how did Brian Stack get to command such single-handed power and pressure over so many people for over 23 years, when the only job he had before becoming a politician was as a meter reader for public service gas and electric? That's it. He's only had one job. I had a lot more jobs than that. He was a meter reader for public service gas and electric. And somehow he became one of the most powerful strong-arm mayors and senators, perhaps in New Jersey history. How is it that this person with almost no experience not only becomes the mayor of Union City, but also becomes a state senator and with no college degree or law degree? He becomes the head of the Judiciary Committee in the New Jersey State Senate, where he determines who becomes a judge, a prosecutor, and a state Supreme Court justice. Now, Mayor Stack was appointed by the president of the New Jersey State Senate, Nicholas P. Scutari. Remember that name. Could Senator Scutari not have found someone more qualified when there are people with law degrees who actually sit on the Judiciary Committee? But instead he said, you know what? I got this person with a law degree, this person with a law degree. Oh, I got someone who used to be a meter reader. I'm going to have him be the head of the Judiciary Committee. That's kind of funny. And by the way, this is going to be a call-in show. So I'm going to share information first for about the first 20 minutes or so, and then I will open up the phones. And I've heard a lot of people from Union City, New Jersey want to talk and want to share their story as well. So the phones will be opened up, but I have lots to unpack first. So stay with me for this. Now, Brian Stack has been the mayor of Union City for over 23 years and is simultaneously double dipping as a New Jersey state senator. That screams conflict of interest. It is now illegal, by the way, but he has been grandfathered in, which should not be allowed. So that's something when you are peacefully redressing the attorney general, everybody, got to say, hey, no more grandfathered in. People got to pick one or the other. Now, Brian P. Stack is a figure embroiled for over 23 years in a tumultuous sea of allegations of misconduct, corruption, retaliation, pay to play, harassment, as well as federal, state, and local investigations, including an FBI investigation. Mayor Brian Stack even had a federal agent who he thought was conducting an investigation on him arrested. Is this crazy? And that occurred only a few weeks after the FBI raided Brian Stack's New Jersey City Hall. And make no mistake of that, it is his City Hall. Nothing happens unless he approves it. Now, Union City ended up paying out to that ICE agent named Ricky Patel, who was an immigration and customs enforcement agent, $100,000 in a confidential settlement. So Mayor Brian Stack apparently was so paranoid, he thought this ICE agent, who happened to be a neighbor, was spying on him or investigating him, and he has him arrested. Who does that? Oh, I think I'm being investigated by the FBI. I think I'm going to have them arrested. This doesn't add up. Now, how does one man find himself at the center of so much controversy? Is there a truth hidden beneath these layers of accusations? Imagine the lives touched, the dreams shattered, under the weight of what some would describe as a web of corruption, deceit, and lies. Picture the faces of those who claim to have been hurt, retaliated against, their voices stifled in a system allegedly tainted by pay-to-play schemes. Tonight, we're not just reporting stories. We're voicing the silent cries of the aggrieved, the unheard tales of those who dare to stand against what they perceive as an abuse of power. As we navigate through this complex narrative, we ask that the critical question is this: in the midst of so many allegations and lawsuits over 23 years, could there be a kernel of validity to any of this? We seek answers not just for the sake of news, but for the sake of every individual who might have been wrong, for the integrity of our communities, and for the principles of justice and fairness that should guide our society and that should be guiding the government of Union City, New Jersey, and should be guiding Mayor Brian P. Stack. Now, stay with us tonight as we begin to unravel this intricate and emotional journey into the allegations against Mayor and State Senator Brian Stack. This is more than a story. It's a reflection of the struggles within this community, a mirror held up to the corridors of power. This is the journey for truth, for understanding, and ultimately for justice. And you know why so many people get away in politics with, and again, these are allegations, I'm making no statements, but just generally speaking, you know why so many politicians get away with corruption and abuse of power? It's because they make it so freaking complicated that it takes so much work to unravel and prove all the little elements. However, when a person in a public office has decades and decades of playing these games of abuse and corruption and retaliation, their web becomes actually very easy to connect the dots to. So I want to share the names just for example, just to show some validity to this. The names of 10 police officers, actually 9 police officers, who have filed suit against Brian Stack, alleging harassment and pay-to-play and other actions. Detective Joaquin Ruiz, and please forgive me if I say your name incorrectly. Sergeant Mark Julve, or Julve. Captain Willie Sierra. Chief Charles Everett. Deputy Chief Joseph Blattler, or Blattler. Lieutenant Mike Figueroa. Police Officer Jorge Torres. Officer Juan Estella. Sergeant Samantha Martinez. Now, these are current and past police officers who have filed suit. Can all 9 of them be lying and making this up? Now, if any of the police officers that I named are watching this video now, contact me at leroytruth247@gmail.com. You can be completely confidential if you would like. And I hold sacredly any confidence and confidentiality that you bring to me, which I have done and will continue to do. The public wants to hear your stories. And I've already been contacted by many former and current Union City police officers who paint a picture of a police department ruled by one single person, Mayor and State Senator Brian Stack of Union City, New Jersey. Yeah, there's a chief, Chief Ficini. He's a figurehead. He's a puppet. He's a little puppy of Brian Stack. Now, what I've been told by scores of people over the last several weeks is that every hire, every promotion, every demotion, every assignment is controlled by Union City Mayor Brian Stack. And the only way to survive as a worker in Union City, New Jersey, is to donate money and time to Stack's campaign, allegedly. Those who support Mayor Stack are rewarded. Those who refuse are punished into submission or retaliated against or fired. And I have gotten even more information of pay-to-play allegations just a few minutes ago, right before this broadcast. And if it's true, it is damning. I'll be sharing that in another video, so stay tuned. Now, by chance encounter, I only learned about Union City a few weeks ago. But what I've learned in the last 3 weeks is extremely disturbing. And the number of tips I've received and verified are countless. Now, here, I want to share something with you. And, Scouts, I'll make sure my screen is good. And sharing here. Now, check this out. Now, this is not coming from me. This is coming from a lawsuit. This is in the Hudson County View. And lawsuit. Cops have stated that cops have to donate to the Brian P. Stack Civic Association to get promoted. Remember the name of that association well, because they all play part of this in Brian Stack's web. Cops have to donate to Brian P. Stack Civic Association to get promoted. Would that be called pay to play? Would that be profoundly illegal? Not just out of integrity. Let's read a bit of this. 5 Union City police officers are suing Mayor / State Senator, it shouldn't be, Brian Stack, Democrat District 33, dating back to March 2014, alleging that in order to get promoted, they must first contribute to a civic association. I'm going to share just a few of the stories here. And again, stay with me. We're going to have a call-in. And I just need to share so you have context and understanding. And I have never worked so hard on a story in my life because it is so complex. And I have never had so many city employees and police officers and residents contact me directly. They have been waiting for something to be able to share, someone to be able to share this. Because what happens one-on-one, apparently Brian Stack picks them off, retaliates against them, But when you have not just one person, but 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 50 people and more, all telling me the same story, chances are there's got to be some truth there. And one thing I found is the stories are so incredibly consistent. Every person is saying the same story. Joaquin Ruiz, he was the first officer to file suit in Hudson County Superior Court on March 4th, 2014. He claims the Stack has created a political machine to foster a pay-to-play culture in Hudson County with the primary purpose of promoting, protecting, and maintaining his power in Union City and the rest of the 33rd Legislative District. Understand that people aren't giving him money directly. He has them give it to his campaign or his civic association. Now, furthermore, the Civic Association is the barometer by which Mayor Brian Stack measures and evaluates, in terms of financial donations, the loyalty and political patronage shown by individuals and companies for purposes of conferring and providing Audio is back. Can you let me know, Scalzo, if the audio is back? Audio is back. Check 1, 2. Okay, good. All right, and I'm just going to share a couple more of these just, again, to give context. These people, are they all lying? I think not. Police officer Mark Jules' suit, filed on February 5th of this year, makes identical charges about Stack. His civic association and the police department, but comes from a different perspective since he used to support Stack politically. Now listen to this. This is mind-blowing. This is like made-for-TV, made-for-movie stuff. But the unfortunate thing, ladies and gentlemen, it is real life. It is just absolutely mind-blowing. And continuing. Jove admits to donating to Stack's political campaign in 1998, as well as to getting involved with his Thanksgiving turkey drives and Christmas toy giveaways. After making contributions to then-Mayor Rudy Garcia, as well as buying a $1,000 ticket to one of Stack's political fundraisers, he was promoted to sergeant in 1999. Between 2001 and 2004, and then from 2007, and there's a typo here, Jove says he regularly continued to buy tickets for Stack's political endeavors. However, he stopped buying any tickets at all in 2011 after being separated from his wife, which he claims led to him being transferred to 3 different assignments. And basically, he claims he was retaliated against. So, there's so many layers to unpack here. Now, I'm going to share something else here. And this will be, now this is going to be a short news report where Brian Stack is confronted by an NBC News reporter. And for some reason, the video cuts after 43 seconds, but we're going to just play the 43 seconds here. Watch this.
I would never threaten a federal agent. Never.
Mayor Brian Stack and 2 of his aides confronted the off-duty federal agent outside the mayor's house.
All I said to him is, this is wrong.
The mayor, who's also a Democratic power broker and state senator, admits things got heated. But he says he was just defending his girlfriend from a man who tried to question her in her car.
What would any man do if their wife or their mother or their loved one is being detained in a vehicle and the person won't identify themselves and you see a bulge in their belt? I X that to the viewership.
But the feds give a much different version. They say the mayor wrongly accused the agent of staking out his home and that the agent called Union City Police for help twice. New Jersey's Director of Homeland Security Investigations said.
And that's where the video cuts out for some reason. So who are you going to believe? Brian Stack with his story, or the Director of Homeland Security saying what Brian Stack is saying is absolutely not true? And now here's a little bit longer video. This is a 2-minute video of a local news station that covered this. So this is going to go into a little more detail. And then in just a few minutes, I'm going to open up the phones. So stay with me here.
Broke the story Tuesday evening. Union City Mayor Brian Stack is accused of threatening and harassing a federal agent late last year, just a little over 2 weeks after the FBI raided the Union City City Hall. NBC News' chief investigative reporter, Jonathan Dietz, broke the story Tuesday evening. Stack denied any wrongdoing in the matter, telling Dietz that he would never threaten a federal agent. Never.
So he said he would never threaten a federal agent. No, no, no way, no how, never, as they say. But when we hear the other side of the story, that doesn't seem to add up there.
However, the segment also says that Stack's attorney, Dennis McAlevey, sent letters to the U.S. Attorney's Office stating that the mayor was the one being harassed by federal agents. Later in the report, Stack said he never told McAlevey that federal agents were giving him a hard time. When Hudson County TV asked Stack about the matter at a bi-weekly commissioners meeting, the state senator of the 33rd District was cordial but had little to add on the matter.
It is what it is on Channel 4.
HCTV reached out to a spokesman from Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, better known as ICE, at a subdivision of Homeland Security, who said they were going to let their comments to Channel 4 tell the story. Andrew McLeese, the ICE director of New Jersey, told Channel 4, an HSI agent was confronted in an aggressive manner by the mayor.
All right, so who's telling the truth here? And you know, Mayor Brian P. Stack, I'd respect you more if you just said, you know what, just tell the truth. It would be good for your soul. If any of these allegations, again, these are just allegations, I am making absolutely no statements. These are allegations, but if these allegations are true, wouldn't it really cleanse your soul, Mayor Stack, to just, let's have a sit down. Bring my camera. And if it's true, confess your sins. It will feel really good. It will help your health. It will de-stress you. You can maybe retire to an island in the Caribbean or in Hoboken. It would be really good for your health if these are true. Continuing.
Agent felt threatened and reported the incident to the law enforcement authorities. The mayor's actions as an elected official were inexcusable. Rebecca Carmichael, the spokeswoman for the...
His actions as a mayor were inexcusable. That's black and white. There's no gray area there. Yet Mayor Brian Stack still sits at his throne. And again, make no mistake, he has a throne. And this is your introduction to him today. Buckle up, because this is going to be a series, and it's going to get crazier as more of the allegations come forward. And by the way, the Attorney General of New Jersey, I highly recommend you take the information you're seeing in this today, and you investigate. And the senators in the state Senate of New Jersey, I highly recommend that you take this information and you investigate. Because one thing in and of itself, you may say, well, it's not a big deal. But combine all these like a beautiful pearl necklace, which ain't so beautiful, and you got some really alarming information here.
U.S. Attorney's Office said in an emailed statement to Hudson County TV, the notion that law enforcement was engaging in harassment is absurd. The federal agent simply happened to live on the street where he parked his car.
You see that? I think there's some paranoia at work here. The federal agent just freaking lives there. He's a neighbor. He had nothing to do with any investigation for Brian Stack. And what happens, like in a relationship, when one of the people in a relationship, they start accusing the other person of cheating. You're cheating on me. Like, what are you talking about? I'm not cheating on you. Usually means that the person who makes the accusation is the one doing the cheating. Is it true here? I don't know. Could be a power play, as Patricia Walton says, and a lot more.
Hudson County TV was told by multiple sources inside the Union City Police Department that the day the verbal altercation with the ICE agent occurred outside Stack's home, the mayor contacted the police department and the agent was taken to the police station. 2 requests under the Open Public Records Act made by HCTV, one late last year and one last week, asking for any police records involving Brian Stack on the date in question, were not answered by the clerk's office. In the end, Stack did not press any charges against the agent, nor is there any pending litigation as a result of the confrontation.
But surprise, surprise, ladies and gentlemen, there was a lawsuit. And now, if it was not legitimate, would the lawsuit have actually not been shown? Let's take a look. Let me take a look, show you this. And again, we're going to do our call-in in just a few minutes here. And let's see. Here it is right here. Check this out. Union City confidentially paid out $100,000 to resolve ICE agent's false arrest lawsuit. Now let's just read a couple paragraphs. What specifically did Mayor Stack allegedly do to this innocent freaking neighbor minding his own business? On December 27, 2016, the city of Union City, Hudson County, the county, of course, where Union City is located, I believe it's the closest city to New York City, too, right through the Lincoln Tunnel. Union City agreed to pay $100,000 to a Homeland Security special agent. I bet he was really glad, actually, Brian Stack was his next-door neighbor now. And the special agent who claimed that he was arrested for questioning a woman who he believed was surveilling his apartment. Mayor and State Senator Brian Stack, who allegedly became irate after the woman called him, came to the scene and reportedly screamed, "I am the bleeping mayor. This is my city. F the feds." Not once, but it says several times. In his complaint, Ricky Patel, an Immigration and Customs Enforcement agent, said that on November 13th, 2012, he observed a woman parked outside his residence, conducting what he thought was surveillance since the previous day. He confronted the woman after learning that there was a note from the Union City Police Department on his windshield saying that his vehicle was part of an ongoing investigation. What the hell is up with that? And one last thing I'm going to share before we open up the phones here. And this is very interesting. And this Very interesting. Let me find this here for you and share. And there's so many assets. Again, this would take hours and hours to do justice to this, that's why it's going to be basically a miniseries. So here we go. And check out, these are some of I just don't have time to get to all these stories today. Take a look. All the stories. Union City cop sues department and lieutenant alleging sexual harassment and retaliation. Union City. See a theme going on here? Oh, this is interesting. This is important because this, I was told, someone sent me this today. They told me that this is Mayor Brian Stack's inner circle and that each of them have a tale to tell. And if any of you would like to come forward confidentially, email me now at leroytruth247@gmail.com. And I'm going to be doing an investigation on every single individual in this photograph. Numerous people are on the Board of Education, retired with huge pensions, six-figure pensions, getting six-figure salaries from the Board of Education. Some maybe not even showing up to work. How do they get these jobs on the Board of Education? Supposedly, allegedly, they donate a lot of money to Brian Stack. And there was one other thing I wanted to share. And Scalzo, if you can bring this up. The first is Lieutenant Glenn Gaston. And when it comes to possibly how some of these lieutenants and so forth got their positions in Union City, Lieutenant Glenn Gaston, detective, commander from 2015 to present. You know how much he donated to Mayor Stack? You know, how much money could he be making? He donated, $100, $200 to Mayor Stack's campaign. I want to be very clear. He donated $7,000. Who does that? Employers donate that much money to their boss? But we're not done yet. And this, I'm just scratching the surface. We're talking a fraction of a fraction. Next is Lieutenant Steve Matulevich, 2009 to current. You know how much he donated? Hold on to your seats. Don't choke on your popcorn. $15,650 to Mayor Stack. Hey, he's a lieutenant. I know these are allegations. Who does that? Who donates that much money to their boss? Then we have Lieutenant Dave Dunlay, 2015 employed to current. He donated $5,283 to Stack. And one more for now. There's a whole bunch more. And we're going to open up the phones. Lieutenant Sergio de Rojas, pictured here with Steve, handing out campaign literature on election day. That's so nice of him to help his boss. But not only did he hand out campaign literature, he worked from, again, 2011 to present. He also gave Brian Stack's campaign $10,800. This is nuts. The total that we know so far is $38,733. And why are police officers who took the oath to protect and serve, protect our constitutional, your constitutional rights, giving their boss tens of thousands of dollars? More importantly, why is Stack taking their money? And lastly, based on my research, city and Board of Education employees have given Mayor Brian P. Stack over $2 million during his time as mayor. Where else does an employer voluntarily give their boss their hard-earned money? I will be covering this in great detail, including all of the people in Mayor Stack's inner circle picture there. So I know that was a lot. And I want to thank all the brave men and women who have been reaching out to me because they see malfeasance and corruption they claim. They love Union City. I've been to Union City now numerous times. And I got to tell you, I love the people there. I love the restaurants there. I love the culture there. It's mostly Hispanic population. We got some of the warmest, friendliest people I have met. I've had some really good food too, I got to tell you, in the last few weeks. Now, I want to open up the phones now. So, Scouts, if you can put the number on there. And we had 2 lines up today, but only one line's working. So if you don't get through, be patient and that I want as many people to be able to call in as possible. And if you're in Union City, want to hear your story, and this is your chance or a chance. And I so appreciate each of you for spending time with me on the Sunday evening. And if anyone would like to support my work, and John Denicola, can you put the links to the Cash App and PayPal? And if anyone wants to donate to support my work, and again, there's a lot of work as you know in this, that would be super helpful. And if anyone wants to do a super thanks, super chat as well, never expected, but always appreciated. Got our first caller. Hello, caller. You're live on Leroy Truth Investigations. And what's your name? Where are you calling from? And what you like to talk about?
Oh, my name's Dub Loves, and I'd like to just give Leroy a shout out for sure.
All right, appreciate that, Dub Wubs. Always appreciate if you're the real Dub Wubs. Are you the real Dub Wubs?
Oh, I am the fucking real Dub Loves.
Okay. I guess it's not the real Dub Wubs. Use that French there, as I don't think the real Dub Wubs would swear. All right. So phone lines are open, and sometimes you get a few crazies in the mix, and what it is on a live show. All right. So if you have anything you'd like to share, any Union City people, I know Jose wanted to talk. Okay, the same person's calling back again. They're not getting on here. And phone lines are open. Here we go. Hi, you're live with Leroy Truth Investigations. Go ahead.
Hey, Leroy. Here we go.
Yes, who's this?
This is our guy 936.
Hey, excellent to have you here. What would you like to say?
I just want to tell you thank you so very much for standing for freedom.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
And I'll let this phone line get back to business. And I just want to once again tell you thank you, man.
Right, I very much appreciate your call. Thanks so much. Thanks for your support. God bless you. All right, that's awesome. And phone lines are open, 305-707-8325. If you'd like to talk about anything about Union City today, they are open. And any Union City people, and I can understand many are afraid, so maybe no one calls from Union City, because from what I understand, there is a major presence of fear and a culture of fear. Here we got a call coming in. Welcome to Leroy Truth Investigations. You're live on the show, and what would you like to say, and what's your name? The shortest call in history. And there is a culture of fear, from what I understand, in Union City. So, again, I will not be surprised if no one calls in, but it would be awesome if someone did. And remember, this is a call-in show, so ask away. Any questions at this point that you'd like to share about anything I've shared? Number is on the screen, 305-707-8325. And someone said the audio is terrible. Is the audio still poor? Please let me know. Welcome to Leroy Truth Investigations. You are live.
Hey, Leroy Truth. This is As If It's Your Business, otherwise known as As If.
Hey, hello, As If. Nice to connect with you.
Yes, sir. We've emailed back and forth over time talking about the cause.
All right, excellent.
Just wanted to give you a live shout out and thank you for all the work you do. The community very much appreciates you.
I really appreciate
all
that.
I got for tonight, brother.
All right, I appreciate what you do as well. Thanks
all
so
I got
much.
for tonight, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. God bless you. Bye now. There's so many great people who support this work. Because as someone once said, when evil will propagate and expand when good people do nothing. Hello, you're live on the air with Leroy Truth. What's your name? Where are you calling from? And what would you like to say?
I'm LDR, and I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I would like to ask a question about how do we defend against this corruption? And I just want to ask him, what does he have to say about that?
Right. That is a powerful, that's the $1 million question. And I'll share my answer, but I would love to see other people answer that in the chat. And what do you say? And stay on the line with me for a minute here. And what do you say? People in the chat, what would you say? What do you think an answer is to that?
It's such a huge event.
Oh, hold on 1 minute. Hold on, I want to hear that. Hold on 1 minute.
Okay.
Hi, you're live with Leroy Truth.
Huge event.
And,
Hold on.
and stand by. I'm going to be right back with him. I'm going to finish with this other caller, but stand by. All right, I'm back. And so what were you starting to say?
This is such a huge event. I just don't know why NBC or, all the national networks don't even have a snippet. It's all basically local news. And then it seems that there's nothing being done about it except for suits. I mean, do the people have to really have a recall on this mayor, or help me understand it, please?
Right. And you're right. And this mayor has navigated through legal means, through whatever means, allegedly, and he's still in power. And the reason is because people have come to attempt to get accountability just one at a time. And another thing is when you have a mayor who he has every part of power in the government of New Jersey. He's a mayor. He is a state senator. He's on the head of the Judiciary Committee. So who chooses the prosecutors? So when someone goes for a lawsuit, are they going to get a prosecutor with a fair trial? Most likely not.
So from other people of the land, right?
Right.
So other people of this land contacts this mayor or something, but they don't have any voting. All they have is their voice. But I mean, I'm really confused. And basically what you're saying, it's terrifying knowing that United States, there is some kind of a quote unquote mafia kind of figure in power. And that's all I have to say. And thanks for your response. And I'll hang on to some more. All right. And go, Mr. Truth. I really appreciate your work. And let's get this done. I'm out.
Amen, brother. Thanks so much. And someone from Jersey had called a minute ago, and if you can call back. And welcome. You're live on the air with Leroy Truth. Where are you from? What would you like to say?
Hey, how's it going? I go by the name of Who Dat Accountability. A few of the topics, so nothing specifically to what you're bringing forth tonight, which is fantastic. But there's a couple of topics that I feel like the 1A community never gets out, and that is, government has no incentive to train police officers or really anybody in a different way to not circumnavigate our amendments and our rights. If you have a situation where, let's just say, the gross number of lawsuits that happen every single year equate to $350-400 million in settlements, that's a very small price to pay to keep 333 million Americans under thumb. So they're purposely being trained to, completely trample rights. And then if they're bad enough and egregious enough, then the government just washes their hands, says, hey, you know what, this particular cop, we'll go ahead and put them in jail, or this particular high-ranking official. So, I mean, at this point, it would take, the settlements would have to reach $60 billion to even create a disincent for the government to say, hey, you know what, this has actually gotten out of control. So I definitely see it as we're like 2 decades away from being able to really create change. And I think that, you have certain social structures, years ago you had smaller community, you had people who, looked after their neighbors or were their neighbor's keeper. And when people were in trouble in town, communities would come together. They would go down to City Hall, more outcry. Now everything is so me, individual. Until it happens to you, there is no outcry. There is no pouring of, hey, this isn't good for our society. And, You know, so I just sometimes I just feel like you know, the situation continually becomes more and more helpless at times.
Right. Yeah. It can be very frustrating and challenging. But one of the things people need to do is they have to file their lawsuits in federal court. That's a huge thing. You get it out of this local
Absolutely.
possible corruption. Plus, there's been such an outpouring of people that, again, one or two people, a few lawsuits, it's not going to make a difference. Any politician can withstand that. But no politician, if they in fact are corrupt, when a thorough investigation in a court of law occurs, they cannot withstand 10, 20, 30, 50 people sharing their story in federal lawsuits.
Yeah.
And getting out in the media. So
absolutely. And I think that it's going to require a task force of the people where the 1A really has to get to a place where they're willing to come together. It's no longer about the YouTube. It's not about clicks and views. It comes down to pure, and most aren't. Most are really not about that. But it comes down to having each other's back and saying, hey, we're going to, 600 strong 1A people come out and say, hey, we're going to pursue this case and we're going to assist. And you're going to see things like ACLU, they only step up when they know it's a slam dunk. But then what we need is actually kind of like our own system where we can compel the other person to say, hey, move forward with this or go after this, because that's the problem is when only one person's going after these, they end up incurring all this retaliation, and then it becomes, okay, I have to balance the safety of my family and all of the things that, all of my investments, everything that, all these things become compromised when it's just you. And so I just think that at some point, I know Long Island Audit and those guys, they're putting together a little bit more of a, like a unified, with the app and everything, which I think is fantastic. But I would just like to see more.
Well, I'll tell you what I got to do.
People come together with a task force.
Right, you're absolutely right, and I'm doing exactly that. So before I let you go here, I must have had like 30 calls come in.
Yes, sir.
Is that I've started what's called the Army of Freedom, and that is where we're going to organize peacefully, and we're going to be 10,000, 100,000, a million plus, because just the videos alone don't make a difference. They, systemically, they do in small communities and in different areas, but systemically, they alone won't make the difference. They're critical because they expose what's going on, just like I'm exposing possible corruption today. But to create change, we have to unify, demand from these public officials that they do these investigations. And if they don't, we run people, support candidates, and we can sway elections with a million or more people as part of the Army of Freedom. And for you and for everyone, please join the Army of Freedom now. It'll take you 5-6 seconds. thearmyofreedom.com. It's free. I'll be sending emails out each week.
Will do, Leroy. Hey, I'll email to you as well.
All right.
Take it easy. Thank you.
My pleasure. All right, welcome. You're on the show, Leroy Truth Investigations. You're live. What's your name? Where you're calling from? If you'd like to share, and what would you like to say?
Thank you. My pleasure.
Hi, this is my favorite number of Deli Flores.
What's your name?
You're live.
Deli Flores.
Deli Flores, hello. And make sure your volume is off on your computer because I can hear the echo.
Oh,
What's your name?
Deli Flores from Union City.
Yep. Okay, this is Deli Flores from Union City, New Jersey. All right, what would you like to share, Deli Flores?
Oh, I had to say a lot of things about Brian Staggs.
And we don't have a lot of time, so it can't be, a lot. I definitely want to talk with you more extensively one-on-one, but I want you to share the most important things as concisely as you can. And so what would you like to share now?
I have a lot of things important to say about his corruption and retaliation and everything with me.
And what are some specifics that you may have interacted with him or experienced with Brian Staggs?
Okay. I have a huge case about the Board of Education with a lawyer in the Hudson County Superior Court. things 3 years, almost 4 years ago.
All right. And can you share what the case is? Or if you can, I do understand. But
Okay. First one, he attacked me sexual attacked me.
you said,
He attacked
let me hear what you're
sexually.
saying. And again, these are allegations, everyone. But did you just say that he sexually attacked you, Mayor Brian Stack?
Yes. And he attacked me in 2006.
He attacked you in 2000. He allegedly attacked you in 2006.
Yes. And I silenced because I didn't speak English, nothing. And I have been working in the Board of Education. I was a single mother. I don't have any friends around to me. So I was few years in this country. I didn't know nothing about sexual attack, about nothing, but he taking advantage of me about my situation because I need help with work. I don't have money in that time, and I suffer a lot with my children. But in that time, I started the church. And a pastor of the church. So he's offered to me to help me in the church with documents. I have a lot of things to explain, but the most important thing is he gave me the work in the Board of Education as a teacher A in 2005, December 12, 2005. I started my work in the Board of Education. So in November 2006, he taken advantage of me to go in the church to try to help me with documents for the permissions of the church and the new place, new location in Union City. So after that, I was in complete frustration. I was in terrible emotional situation. I don't have anybody who tell that. I later passed the years, I continued working. I was completely assigned with everything with him. I was scared of him. But someday I decided to give me therapy by myself because I study in Kelly Dickerson University. I chose my major psychology. So in my school, I try to study by myself. I give me therapy for me, and God helped me a lot in with my Bible and a lot of things. So I try to seek courses in different places. My children wasn't growing in the time, so I suffer a lot in my emotional. But someday I decided to confront him. I appeared in front of his face, and I saw his face with my eyes and say, I'm here to defend by myself. So I continued working in the Board of Education. But I studied in my bachelor degree. I found my bachelor degree. When I applied in the Board of Education, Mr. Stanley Sanger, the superintendent, he received my document of my bachelor degree in the university. And he received it, he approved everything. So he sent me the office of human resource of Diana Capisi. So he told me, I will call you. So until that time, he never called me. When somebody tell me, why you went to Diana Capisi, the Board of Education? The boss is Brian Stack. Brian Stack give it all possession. You have to go with him. So in that time, I don't speak clearly English. And I speak with Brian Stack in front of his face. I say, why you stop my possession? So he told me, Mr. Stanley Sanger don't give the possession. I give the possession for everybody in Board of Education. He stand up and say, if you don't help me, I don't help you. So he wants to help him, and I say, why you want to help him? I don't have time. So I don't have time at that time because I work hard, and I make extra hours at night. I give taxis in the airport with my car. I stop my car outside the airport find more money to pay my rent because I had 2 kids to provide food and everything. So I don't have nobody who help me. I don't receive child support. I don't receive help you of anything. Also, I don't receive coupons. I don't receive nothing. So I had to find money. But when I went with him, with Brian Stark, in different schools, because he has a meeting with people in different schools in the street, I said, please give me my possession. Why you stopping my possession? Why you stopping my possession? Give me my possession, please. I don't have food. I need to pay my rent. He said me, you made me hard time. So he fight with me, and since that time, I decided to say to everybody about his retaliation with me. Someday I say to some teacher, I say my secret. My secret was I was hitting in my heart about he attacked me. I received some instruction about sexual harassment, and I say, he attacked me. So I decided to say for some teachers, cry a lot. I open my heart. I cry in front of her about he did with me that day when he attacked me sexually. So later, I studied communication.
Deli,
social communication.
I want to know more of your story, and let's talk offline.
Okay.
You know what you shared is incredibly important, and I want to talk with you offline. We have so many people in the comments that are like, they want to know more of your story. So I just don't have time in our show today to go over this, but I want to give you the time that it seems your story deserves. So I want to thank you for calling, and let's talk tomorrow. And
okay,
and I really appreciate your courage for sharing.
He gave me a lot of retaliation. I finished to say that I have my case. I have the lawyer who is open the huge case and everything. I continued my chapters because it's a lot in this county. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you open your channel to see everybody confront the truth of Brian Stark, who is a dictator and corrupt man. And thank you for you opening the truth in the city. Thank you so much, Leroy. Thank you.
My pleasure, and Godspeed. And I will talk to you this week.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Deli Flores, and many of you have asked to get her number, etc. So that's already in the works. That my people have connected with her, and so we have her contact information, and we will be talking with her one-on-one and thoroughly to get to the bottom of these allegations. Very, very, very disturbing. And Mando Outdoors, let me see if this is you now. And thanks for your patience, everyone. Again, I only can have one person on at a time, but I've gotten so many calls. I really appreciate you. Let's see if this is Mando here. And
I'm sorry, the person you were trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet.
Hi, you're on live with Leroy Truth. Is this Mando Outdoors?
Yeah, how's it going, Leroy?
Good. Thanks for your patience and for your being persistent. All right, what would you like to share?
Yeah, of course.
Where do you live?
Yeah, so now I live in Miami, but I'm actually a former Union City resident myself.
All right. Well, I'm glad you called. What would you like to share?
Yeah, of course. I'm actually a First Amendment auditor. I don't want to take any, I'm not looking for fame. I'm just calling because I wanted to give my personal perspective on Detective Haber. I've actually known Detective Haber for almost 25 years, actually. And that guy, man, he's one of the most down-to-earth, humble guys. And when I saw your video auditing Union City, I was like, bro, no way. Union City is getting audited. It was funny at first. But when you went up to the mayor's office and I saw Detective Haber, the way he presented himself, I was like, dude, this makes me freaking proud, man, because, just like you stated, not a lot of people actually respect the First Amendment nowadays. Now it's like, yo, you either turn your camera off or you get out of here. And it's like, cops don't like when you step up against them. But, the reason I'm calling is, I'm very disappointed in Stack and the Union City Council because, you know, us auditors, we know that like when there's a situation like that, it ends up turning into a civil suit. And Detective Haber, man, he really, really represented Union City so well. But unfortunately, the leadership is so corrupt, man. And, you know, Haber single-handedly, like, one, made Union City look good. Two, saved them countless of thousands of dollars in a civil suit. And I feel like it's horrible, man.
Yep, it is. I'm really glad you called. And the fact is, we wouldn't be having this live stream. I wouldn't be revealing this information if allegedly allegedly Mayor Brian Stack didn't retaliate against Detective Haber for doing what a police officer is supposed to do. That's the bottom line. It's so freaking simple. You know, honor your oath to the Constitution.
Imagine being a mayor. Yeah, imagine being a mayor and a corrupt senator. But here you are, you know, you swear an oath to the Constitution when you take your political position. And then when Officer Haber upholds the Constitution, all of a sudden it's like, yo, we got to retaliate. Let's take this guy away from his regular hours. Let's put him on night shift. Let's basically screw Detective Haber's life over. And let's just, you know, let's keep going on with our scams and our shams.
Right. Yep. And the thing is, that simple act, out of all the things that Mayor Stack could have done, retaliating against Haber is what opened up this Pandora's box and revealed. And again, people came to me, you know, asking me fervently, please expose the truth here about Mayor Brian Stack. Again, everything is alleged. I'm making no statements. But because he allegedly retaliated against Detective Haber, now Mayor Brian P. Stack is going to become world infamous. Just a fact.
Yeah. And the sad thing is, man, it's like a lot of the locals and shit like that, you know, like we've known for years how he was, you know, and now that there's going to be mainstream attention going on, you know, I'm actually really good friends, man, with James Freeman, one of the biggest auditors in the First Amendment auditing community.
I know James.
And I'm definitely, I'm actually passing your story on to him, along with a good friend of mine, Clashwood Bow. I'm going to let them know what's going on, man. And I might even go myself to do a First Amendment audit on Union City, you know? I got no shame, man. I think I definitely go tackle it, but that's besides the point, man. But, you know, we need to get more people out there, man. We need to get more people, like, researching and actually bringing up to light, you know, not only his past, but, you know, the shams that he's enabling and the stuff that he's doing. Because, to be honest, man, excuse my French, it's pretty fucked up, man, you know?
Right.
You expect better leadership, but unfortunately nowadays it's just corruption.com.
Yep, you're right on. I really appreciate you sharing. And I ask you and everyone listening to this, call and email the Attorney General of New Jersey and demand an investigation of Mayor Brian Stack, of the Board of Education, of the city, and of the Civics Association of Brian Stack as well. Investigate. If there's nothing there, Brian's in the clear. If there is, and there's, you know, where there's smoke, there's fire. So this is not looking too good for him. And because the truth shall set you free. So thanks so much for your call, and say hello to Freeman for me. He's awesome. And him and I talk as well, and appreciate you. And yeah, someone said mass audit. Yep. Mass audit, always peacefully.
Sounds good, brother.
All right, take care.
All right, brother. Much love, man. And long live the Constitution and freedom!
Amen. Amen, brother. And now let's see. This person been calling me like many times. Let's see if this is this the real Dubwebs?
This is Jeremy.
Okay. Hey, Jeremy, is this the real Dubwebs?
This is the real Dubwebs.
Okay. I wasn't sure. Was that you before?
Yeah, I apologize.
Right.
I said this is the real fucking Dubwebs. It's all good.
All right. Yeah, it's all good. I'd like to keep this family friendly. But anyway, Dubwebs, ladies and gentlemen, is one of my biggest supporters. It's all good. And he is awesome. And he is almost on every one of my live streams, every one of my videos he's commenting on. And I really appreciate you, Dubwebs. And what would you like to share? Anything else?
Anything else? I didn't share nothing yet. What are you talking about? Yo, Leroy is the truth. Hashtag figure that shit out. My bad. Yo, I love all your videos. I love the stuff you did with LIA, the stuff you do with GGA. I love what you do on your own. I think that you're just doing what it does as far as press. Yeah. I've subscribed to to your list. You already know what it is. I was just giving you a call just to let everybody know that Leroy is the truth. Yeah, he's bringing stories that nobody knew about straight to the front of society, and then it's up to us to redress. It's part of our First Amendment to redress our government.
Right.
And so, on top of that, then we have the right to speak. We have the right to free press. Get your cams. We have the right to protest. Right.
That's right, brother. RAPS. Religion, assembly, petition, press, and speech.
We can bring religion into that too. I mean, for the 5th, I know I labeled 4, but you're right. Yeah, man. If that's your religion, do it. That's what you do.
Yep, absolutely. To each their own. All right, well, Dub Wubs, I so appreciate you calling, not giving up, and I really appreciate your support. You are a true patriot.
Absolutely. I'm glad you called back, because I was like, yo, they left me hanging.
Remember, there was someone who claimed they were you, and that's why I thought they were the impersonator.
I know. Then I jumped back on right afterwards.
All right. Well, great to connect again, and appreciate you, and enjoy a great rest of your night.
Yeah, man, you guys too. Yo, everybody in the chat, I love y'all. Stay up. Yo, it's happy birthday.
All right. Take care. And also to clarify, someone said there is no federal attorney general. I didn't mean that. I meant called a New Jersey attorney general. New Jersey attorney general. And demanding investigation. You've got 50 people, 100 people, 200 people, 500 people demanding investigation. I guarantee it's going to happen. And so here we have someone from the South calling in, and then Liberty Cause, you're going to be next. Okay, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, here we go. Now we can hear you. Say that again. What's your name? Where are you calling from? What would you like to say?
Leroy.
I accidentally hung up on the other person, so I think it was Martha to call back, and you were next on the list. But anyway, this is the famous Liberty Cause. And what would you like to share, young Liberty?
So, a lot of people in the chat, and one of your callers earlier, people are wanting to know, what can we do? What is there to be done? And what I do locally in my community.
Oh, hold on one minute. I have a Union City person calling. Be right back with you. And welcome. This is Leroy Truth. Do you live in Union City?
Hi, I lived in Union City from 1971 to 2021.
Okay, hold on. I have someone else I just wanted to pick up. So just stay on the line. Don't hang up, and I'll be with you as soon as I'm done with the other caller. All right, Liberty Cause, go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of people are always asking. I see this in live chats and comments on a lot of videos. What can we do? And what I do in my community is I get people together. You've got to find like-minded people, find people that are kind of on the fence, that they know something's wrong, but they're just not really ready to make that jump into doing something about it. And then you've got to educate them, and obviously that requires having a lot of education, on your own. So self-education first, getting together with your neighbors, getting together with your family, finding these like-minded people. Think about what our founders did. They met in barns. They met in little pubs. They met secretly because they had to.
Liberty Cause, can you pause 1 minute? I have to step away for a minute, but if you can keep it going, I'm going to keep the mic right next to you, and I'll be back in just a couple minutes. So hold on. Okay. And go ahead, Liberty Cause. I'll be back in 2 minutes. So Liberty Cause has the floor now.
Okay, so you want me to keep talking?
Yeah, keep talking till I get back. Just 2 minutes. Restroom break.
Okay. So people, one of the most important things is to really, truly learn the Constitution. Learn beyond the Bill of Rights. When it comes to the Bill of Rights, learn where the Bill of Rights came from. A lot of people seem to have this idea that the founders just kind of came up with this. And as we go through the Bill of Rights, we are going to find that no, they did not. That people literally 500 years before them had these same battles, and they demanded that these same rights be recognized. And it's so important to understand where we came from as far as a country, what we were born out of. And that's where we're going to really truly get the understanding of why we're in the situation we're in today, why we see these things happening, why our governments are really no longer our government. They don't represent the people anymore. They represent themselves. They represent corporate interests. They represent the donors, and if you're not a donor, and even if you look in, these towns that have citizen review boards, for instance, where they've got a citizen review board that's supposed to look, over, things that are brought against the local police departments. Number one, most of them have no teeth. We have to demand that they actually have a say in what is going to be done when these officials, when these cops or city commissioners, I don't care who they are, when they violate their oath of office, when they break the law, there has to be consequences. And and we've got to give teeth to these organizations, these boards. The other thing is, you got to get out and get on these boards, because if we look at who is on these boards, it's the same old group of people that are tied to local politics every single time. It's always the same people that you'll find, that are always tied to the local politicians. So it's important to get out there and get involved. But again, more importantly, talk to your friends, talk to your neighbors, get them on board, help them understand that this is a fight that takes all of us.
Right.
We've got to come together on this.
Right. Absolutely.
One of your callers said, earlier as well, when we look at our Constitution, our government was not there to do anything but to protect our rights.
Bingo.
They're not going to solve our problems. It's our job. When we see problems, when we have maybe an elderly member of our community that needs help, we shouldn't be depending on the government. We need to go form coalitions of neighbors and go help these people. Don't let code enforcement go and take away an elderly person's house because they can't get out and cut their grass.
Right.
Go for them. Get out there and help them. That is how we beat this monster. We have to starve it. And how does it feed? What does it feed on? It feeds on fines and fees that come from these, just unconscionable regulations, these arbitrary and capricious ordinances and regulations. And the way we starve the beast is we go out there and we help our neighbors when they need it. And we show up at meetings. We show up at city council, city commission, county council, and we demand better. We simply demand better.
Right. Right on. And by the way, I trusted the Liberty Cause when I took a quick restroom break. Him and I are good friends. And we are in the process of releasing 76 University, which is going to be teaching about civics, constitutional rights, and it's going to be a powerhouse and an educational wealth for people who want to create freedom for themselves and generations to come. And also, we're starting the Outlaw Network as well. So much more to come on that. Stay tuned. Liberty Cause, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And you're my good friend. And, everything you say is so freaking valuable.
One more quick thing that I just want to share with the folks that are still here with us. With regards to 76 University, I am currently working on the first course that is going to be up there, the modules for that course, which are going to be an extremely in-depth history of the Constitution, the history behind it. We're going to go back 700 years prior to 1776 because it's so important that we know where we came from to understand where we are. So I invite everybody to come join in on this because you're going to be able to take this information, you're going to be able to digest it, make it your own, and then go and, like I said, form these local community groups, find people. I don't care if it's 3 or 4 or 5 people, but you sit down with them, you take the information that you've learned, and you start teaching them. And you get them educated so that they really understand how this battle works and how we beat this monster.
Amen. All right. Well, to be continued. Thank you so much, Liberty Cause. Stay tuned. 76 University. And what's the URL to go to 76U? Liberty?
I don't have it right in front of me.
And
I've got it still up on one of my other computers, but I don't have it right in front of me.
And I think it's 76u.com. And if anyone wants to check it out there, and it's just starting here, but we're going to have a lot more content. But
coming very, very soon, we're going to start going into this deep dive of the history behind the Constitution, going all the way back to some of the very early kings of England and understanding, looking at all of the revolutions that occurred in England along the way. And that's the history that our founders knew. They didn't have the internet. They didn't have television, radios. They had books, and they read books, and they knew their history. And that is where our constitutional republic came from, was not making the same mistakes that had been made in the past, but
I gotta keep moving. You're good. I got another caller that keeps calling here. Liberty Calls. Thank you.
All right. God bless everyone.
Okay. All right. Bye now. Hello. Okay. Thanks for your patience there. And thank you so much, Liberty Cause. This is going to be so rich. 76u.com. I believe that's the URL. If someone can check that out, if it is. And we're going to get this started. It's going to be a powerhouse, a wealth of freedom education for everyday people, for police officers, for EMS workers, for everybody. And it's going to be powerful. We're going to include a weekly or bi-weekly live interactive Zoom meeting that you'll be able to interact with as well as part of this. So stay tuned for that. And next caller, and thanks for your patience. And again, what's your name and what would you like to share? And you're in Union City, or you used to live in Union City?
Yes, my name is Martha Midano. I lived in Union City from 1971 to 2021. And of course, I was a victim of Brian Stack for many years.
Can you pause there a minute? I just want to underline what she said. She said that she was a victim of Brian Stack. Again, as I've said throughout this video, these are only allegations. However, to underline that, you said you were a victim of Brian Stack. So tell us more about that.
Okay. I knew Brian Stack when he was a nobody, always asking for votes and all of that. And once he came into office, I remember he said he was not going to run for the Senate. So when he ran for the Senate, I called him up on it. And we were always getting into fights. Then he started building up the city with condominiums. I called him up. Are you going to raise the taxes? Oh, no, Mrs. Amidano, I'm not raising the taxes. Sure enough, he raised the taxes. When President Trump was running for office the first time, I had a sign. I was supporting him in my door and my window in the house. And people will come at night and say they will burn the house down. Of course, this is the United States. You have a right to choose which party you want to support. I called him up. I said, look, I'm getting threatened. They're going to burn the house down. Send a letter like you do to everybody and tell them that's not allowed to do. You can't threaten people because they just supporting Trump.
Wow.
There's a right to choice. He said, I can do that, Mrs. Amidano. So we got into a big fight. But what did it for me was we were selling our house. My husband had inherited his house from his mother when she died. It's a 100-year-old house in Union City. The basement was halfway finished. The normal was ugly basement. When the real estate was showing the house, he sent in Angelo from the building department as a potential buyer. He went in and he got all the things that were wrong in the violations in our basement. And they sent us a letter that we had to pay $10,000 a week if we didn't fix it. So my husband, who happened to be a lawyer in New Jersey, he was working for the state of New Jersey, went to him. He knew him as a kid and told him, look, the house was inherited from my mom. It's been there for 100 years. We're selling it. The person who's going to buy it is going to fix it. He said, all I can do is make sure you don't get $10,000 a week, but you have to fix it. So nobody wanted to buy the house after that. We had a friend of ours says, look, I buy it for you for $180,000. Get that. It was for sale for $350,000. And she said, but I'm going to deduct everything that needs to be fixed. And we said, we just wanted to leave Union City. So we said, okay. And it was an astronomical job. And every time Angelo came, he would find something more. Then he'd come back and he would find something more. All this was retaliation because I was always a thorn by his side. I always held his feet to the fire. And I called him on and everything, all his lies, everything. So that was my payback. And finally, I called him. My husband was diagnosed with cancer, and he was coming here. And I said, look, my husband is diagnosed with cancer. I can't deal with this anymore. Can you just stop this? How much more do we have to do? We've done everything you asked, and now this guy, Angelo, is asking for more. So finally, they stopped, but we ended up with $100,000 for the house, which is, as you know, is nothing nowadays.
Wow.
So we lost our house, and we moved here to Florida, and we couldn't buy a house. We were looking to buy a house here, so we were in a rental.
Wow.
Thanks to Brian Stack. The corruption there is incredible, and I'm thankful that you're finally bringing light to that. He should have been in prison years ago.
That's what people keep saying. And one of the things, and before you go, it's Martha or Marta?
Martha.
Martha. Before you go, Martha, this reminds me, this situation in Union City, everyone, and Martha, reminds me of, you've all seen movies where there's a bully and he's bullying this person, that person, people that, he considers weak, and he gets away with it many times for years. But then, in a few movies, then the people come together. The townspeople say, whoa, we are standing up to this guy. This is not okay. They unify, which they're really doing now through the work I'm doing. And I welcome that opportunity to be the unifier and to be the voice that brings people together, because everyone can't be lying. These are the same stories, Martha.
No.
And so the bully right now, it looks like the end of the bully reign of Mayor Stack, as so many people are coming forward with their stories over decades. And he can say, oh, you're just disgruntled, or you're this, or you're that, or you're not credible, or you're crazy, or you're on medication, or you should be on medication. And they can try to destroy your credibility individually. And then a lot of times they believe, hey, he's the mayor, he's the senator, for God's sakes. But when you have you sound incredibly credible, this person's story, that person's story, pretty soon the house of cards falls down. So this will be
like you did with Robert Menendez.
Yes, Robert Menendez.
Finally caught up with him.
Yep. By the way, Senator Robert Menendez, all of you know, senator in New Jersey. By the way, where was he mayor of? Let's see. Union City.
Union City.
And Union City, Brian Stack knows him well, shall we say. I'm not making any connections of the dots between Senator Menendez and Brian Stack, because Senator Menendez is under 2 indictments right now: Qatar and Egypt, gold under his bed, and money and all this stuff. But, they're all kind of one happy family there. So I really appreciate you.
But you notice how quickly he distanced himself from Menendez when this happened?
Oh, yeah, I've seen. And if you can email me, by the way, and I think we talked before, but if you can email me again, just
I sent you my story. I did.
Yes. Could you just email me just that you were on the show today? Just because I remember who you are, and that way you're front and center. I'm getting hundreds and hundreds of emails. So
it's about time.
Yeah, thank you. And this will be not just national, not just state news, not just national. It'll be international news. This is one of the biggest alleged corruption scandals that I have ever seen. So I appreciate you, Martha, and I'm so sorry what happened to you, but justice can be served when the truth comes out.
Exactly, and I'm thankful you're doing this.
All right, and the Angry Vet
Your call has been forwarded to an
Angry Vet, you've been trying to call here. I'm calling you back. Angry Vet, if you're there, call back, and phone's open for you. And let me take a look at some of the chats here, and appreciate everyone who stayed with me. We've had over 250, 260 people most of the night. And we're going to go about 15 more minutes just to give a time frame. And a lot of people have wanted to get in on the call-in show. And we have, oh, he was here. Angry Vet was here. This is a New Zealand number. Hello there. Can you hear me?
Hey, Leroy.
Is this Farlap? Oh, the phones are cutting out. I wonder if they're doing some funny stuff with my phones here. The phones keep cutting out. I'm going to see if they call back. That was someone calling from New Zealand, I believe. See, this story already is international, ladies and gentlemen. Someone calling from New Zealand. And let's see if the phone disconnects here. You're on live with Leroy Truth. What would you like to say?
Well, the first thing I'd like to say is when they treat us our Miranda rights, they're actually taking our rights away by saying everything we say against you, you say will be used against you. Well, that's a First Amendment right, and that's a violation of the First Amendment. And anybody that does that and took an oath to it should also be subject.
This is very strange, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to restart my phone. The calls keep dropping. I'm not dropping the calls. Now, could there be any connection between my live show today and this? I don't know. And just in general, the corruption in New Jersey is historic. People know of huge corruption in New Jersey. And so it's a big corrupt family in many ways. Now, I'm not saying everyone is. And I'm specifically talking to the good men and women in government, because there are some good people. And those are the people I would like to reach out to me directly. Because this is big. This is big news. This is a big story. It requires a macro investigation that spans over 23 years and beyond. So I address all the good men and women in government, and contact me, because corruption runs deep and we need good people to come forward. And let's see who the new caller is. We're just going to go just until 10:45, 15 more minutes. All right, here we go. Kevin, are you there? Angry Vet, are you there?
I am.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm here.
Excellent. Hold on. I think Farlap's calling back. I'll be right back. Stay on the line. Is this Farlap?
Yeah, Mike.
Hey, you're calling. Tell everyone where you're calling from.
Mate, I'm calling from all the way from New Zealand.
This is international news, ladies and gentlemen. Farlap here is calling from New Zealand. And Farlap is a wonderful supporter of this channel and a great patriot, a world patriot of freedom. And he's incredibly active, and I really appreciate you, Farlap. And what would you like to share today?
Leroy, I couldn't think of a better person to cheer on and follow as much as I can. I love all the work you do. I love the in-depth stuff you do and the follow-ups, all your videos. You as a person, all the people in the chat are just absolutely fantastic. And all your supporters are just really cool.
I so appreciate that, Farlap. I appreciate your support and everything you do, and it's support and behind the scenes. And again, this is a world cause, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't just a United States cause. This isn't just a New Jersey cause. This is a worldwide cause. Freedom is a human right. And governments, the whole point of a government, as Brian from Here's the Deal says, the word government comes from the Latin govern, to control, mento, the mind. So the whole idea of governments in general are to control us. And so this is a worldwide situation. And there's always so many more of us than there are of them, right, Farlap? Because as Martin Luther King said, the problem is not that we are outnumbered. The problem is that we are organized. And that's what the Army of Freedom, if you go to thearmyoffreedom.com now, everybody, join it. It takes 6 seconds. You will be part of an active offline and online worldwide activist group. And what else, Farlap, would you like to share?
Too bloody true. Too bloody true. Look, I started watching auditors, cop watchers first, and auditors second, they've multiplied. And there's so many good people out there standing up for the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and what is right. There's so many bad cops, bad politicians, bad councils. I've seen shitloads. I mean, I've been following you guys for
4 or 5 years. I know all your laws better than my own. And the screw-ups from those people in charge just blows my mind. So for all the guys like you, Leroy, that stand up for the Constitution and do what's right, I think it's fucking fantastic.
Appreciate that. No, thank you so much for all that. And we're just getting started. So with people like yourself, alone we fall, united we stand. And I really appreciate your support. And we're going to need it to make sure that freedom is recognized as the birthright of every man, woman, and child alive now and for every generation to come.
No problem, mate. I'll be along for the ride.
All right. Thank you for all that. Okay. Enjoy a great night or great day in your case. Talk to you later. Bye. All right, Angry Vet, hold on 1 minute. I have some things I got to read here, some updates. People have been texting me. I want to read some of the texts. And this is from some insiders in Union City. And let's see. Tell them that the commissioners, councilmen of Union City are elected by the people, but they don't have a voice or vote. And there is no federal attorney general, no state. Okay, federal. Okay, I understand. I misread your text. So you need to demand from the federal attorney general, not the state attorney general of New Jersey, everyone, to redress the government. And I would be putting the contact information of the United States attorney general in this video once we're complete with this. So the United States attorney general is the one that has to look into this. Otherwise, it may not be looked into, according to some sources here, if you go to the New Jersey attorney general. Also, police officer Sergio De Roja had an accusation of sexual harassment with a 911 employee, and Mayor Stack uses him to harm his political enemies. Alleged. Again, this is allegation that came through here. And another allegation, if you don't put Mayor Stack's picture in your windows or house or in your business, he will send you the inspectors. That sounds like dictatorship to me. And Senator Menendez was the one who made Brian Stack mayor. And these are all some texts I've been receiving here. And by the way, one last thing before you share Angry Vet is I also heard that Brian Stack uses the EMS and the ambulances and the EMS workers to transport people to doctor visits, non-emergency, which then puts people in jeopardy who actually need emergency transportation and medical care. So I'm going to say that once again. Again, this is alleged, but a number of people have come to me and they said that Mayor Stack, he allows or dictates that EMS professionals and their vehicles be used to transport people around the city for medical visits, non-emergency medical visits, which puts lives in jeopardy of people who actually have 911 emergency needs. So anyone can give me corroboration on that as well. I mean, it just keeps coming out, ladies and gentlemen, and I know I've just scratched the surface because of all the information I've gotten. So Angry Vet, number one, thank you so much for your generous donation, your super thanks. If anyone else would like to do a super thanks, super chat, really appreciate it. Support the work, and also PayPal or Cash App, always appreciated. So Angry Vet, welcome. What would you like to share?
Well, I want to tell everybody, I kind of want to inform everybody in your audience that a lot of people don't understand how deep even though you're just scratching the surface, how deep you really are and how much your life is at risk for doing what you're doing right now.
Yeah, you're right.
You're dealing with a legalized mafia that'll do anything to shut anybody up. Period. And what people don't understand is I just want everybody to know that you've never in your entire life thought about unaliving yourself.
Right.
Ever.
Absolutely.
That you would never do that ever in a million years. And that even people in our community, even 1A auditors, and they a lot of them don't understand how deep something like that is because they've only gone to, say, libraries and post offices And you know what I mean? They're not taking on political figureheads.
Right. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And
yeah, go ahead.
It's disgusting what they'll do. Like I've literally been through it. Like I've literally seen the dirty corruption going all the way up to state representatives, you know, governors, mayors. I've seen it with my own two eyes, dealing with it, sending letters off and doing all this stuff and doing what we want everybody to do. But when in the reality of it, they, you know, it's not going to change unless everybody comes together, like everybody's been saying, and we put enough pressure on these people to where it has to be looked at. Like they cannot turn a blind eye to it.
No. And the thing, right, you're right on. And the thing is, just watching the videos and commenting isn't enough. It's critical. It's important because this is how we expose this information. But we have to go offline peacefully. And what you said, Angry Vet, and numerous people have told me I have to be careful, and that they may try to intimidate me, they may try to pay me off, or worse. And the fact is, I am in this to the very end, just to expose truth. Again, I have no personal vendetta whatsoever against Mayor Brian Stack, Senator Menendez, anyone. It is all about people have been coming to me. I didn't seek this out. However, I will continue on this. I don't care if it takes a month, 6 months, 6 years, or to the day I die. I'm going to be on this story, and I'm not going away. And I will expose every story and every possibility of corruption and malfeasance and retaliation that exists here. And since my Union City experience three weeks ago, I have shifted the focus of my channel to be of government corruption, to uncover government corruption and make sure they are held accountable. And it's a free city, a free town, a free country again. Also, police officers have been contacting me now throughout the country. Good police officers, which they do exist, whistleblowers, asking me many times desperately, will I share their story of the inner culture of retaliation when a good cop does stand up against a bad cop or a bad system. So I welcome all good police officers. Contact me. Email me at leroytruth247@gmail.com. I'm going to be interviewing one this Tuesday who was a whistleblower, police officer in the New York City metro area who was retaliated against because he blew the whistle on things that shouldn't have been going on. He was fired. His family's retaliated against. It's huge. So that's the focus of my channel now.
It's 100%. You are 100% correct in that. I'm going through the same shit with the VA. Like people from the VA that work at the VA and or have been fired from the VA, same hospital that I'm uncovering all this shit about. Same people. I'm going through the same thing. I get emails all the time. You know, like it's disgusting. You don't realize it until you're in the middle of it, and you're right dead smack in the middle of it, and it's dangerous. And a lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah, that's true, and I'm very aware of it. And as I've said, that I'm not paranoid. I'm not a drama guy, but I am a realist. And if these allegations are correct, Mayor, Senator, head of the Judiciary Committee, Brian Stack's empire will come crumbling down. And as you said, Angry Veteran, I say this publicly to everyone here, I love my life. I love the work I do. I would never unalive myself. And as Scalzo Photo has said, that you are the most unaliving, I'm trying not to use that word because this video will get banned if I use if I use the S word. But he says, you are the most non-S person that I've ever known. And so just to let you know, so if anything happens to me, you know where to go seek those answers from. But ideally, nothing will.
100%.
Ideally, nothing will. And numerous police officers in Union City have my back as well. And I have met some really really good people over the last few weeks, I got to tell you. So, Angry Vet, I appreciate everything you do.
I plan on coming up. I plan on coming up and helping you out with some stuff when I can. I can't really get into the details of when I can come up there. I can with you via text. If you want to text me, shoot me a text. I'll let you know what's going on next week.
All right.
And But after I get, past some of this wiretapping bullshit, I am heading up that way.
All right, that sounds great. And everyone,
Just so you know.
yes, thank you. And subscribe to the Angry Vets channel. He's got an awesome channel. He is a veteran. He profoundly cares about our freedoms. And he was willing to put his life on the line for that. And he's here. Check his channel out. He's awesome. So thank you, Angry Vet. Appreciate you. Appreciate your generosity as well.
No problem. Love you, brother. Stay safe.
Okay, love you too. All right, bye.
See ya.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So let me see. I've got some other texts here. Just want to make sure I get through everything. And so appreciate each of you for being with me now almost 2 hours here. And some of the other messages that came through. If someone didn't vote for Stack, he will. Oh, this is big. Ladies and gentlemen, there's so much. If someone didn't vote for Mayor Stack, Mayor allegedly will send a letter asking why they didn't vote for him. And I've heard this from numerous people. And some people have asked, well, how did they even know he didn't vote for them? How? And voting is private. But there's a number of people who have come up to me and they said they specifically had conversations where Brian Stack went up to them, this is from them, and said, why didn't you vote for me? And they didn't get promotions, and there was retaliation against them and so forth. And one of the people said, how do you know if I didn't vote for you? How would you possibly know that? So take a couple more calls. We're going to go 12 more minutes. We got more callers coming in. Thanks for staying with me. Almost 2-hour show today. We're going to go just 12 more minutes, and then we're going to complete for the day. And got another caller here. Press with Ranker, hello. Patricia Walton, as if your business, Central Iowa Audits. And also, if anyone would like to do a super chat or super thanks or a PayPal Cash App, always appreciate the support that this does here. And before that, hold on. And caller, and let's see, just have a few other texts here I wanted to share. Oh, someone said, Brian, before you start, just got another text. Brian Stack is also the Commissioner of Public Safety in Union City. What the hell is he not? Is he the Undertaker too? Maybe he's the best tattoo artist they have in Union City. I want to find that out. Does he also have a tattoo parlor there? Maybe he's a massage therapist too. He seems to be everything else. So that makes him the top cop over the chief of police. But this problem didn't start with him. It is normal in New Jersey. Look at Mayor Bob Menendez before him, and Mayor Musto, who, by the way, Mayor Musto of Union City went to prison. So, yes, caller, go ahead. What's your name? Where are you calling from? And what would you like to share? You're live on the show with Leroy Truth Investigations.
Oh, here you go, Joko.
Joko, hello there. Welcome.
Yeah, shut that off.
Yeah, shut that off. Yeah, shut that speaker off.
This is Kansas Copwatch.
Oh, Kansas Copwatch. Hello there. All right, what'd you like to share?
What would I like to share? I'm going after the Judge Lewis who prosecuted Brandon and the attorney or the city attorney that prosecuted. So that's what I'm going after.
Good. Good for you. Holding people accountable. Again, always peacefully. We always underline that. Peacefully, legally, which is what you're doing. And awesome work.
All right. I'm going after him. And the Attorney General, if I have to go back to the Attorney General, I will go after him. And hopefully he doesn't run for Attorney General again, because the last time I was there, I never got my records request. Everyone quit. The chief had quit and retired, and there's 2 chiefs in Gardner City it's not Gardner City, it's Gardner and Kansas, Johnson County. That was the station I've been pursuing since then. And since I went to Brandon Mitchell's trial, and they prosecuted him for free speech on a sidewalk.
Wow.
I'm going after him and I'm going to turn him in to Topeka, Kansas. I want something done about it.
Good for you. And unless right,
I will call out the governor, and her name is Kelly, to do something about this.
Good.
Because this is BS.
Right. Hold them accountable. You gotta let your voice be heard, everyone, because they rely on us not saying anything. They rely on us just making comments on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and TikTok videos only, and not actually going offline. Again, always, always, always peacefully. I completely condemn violence, can completely condemn any threats of violence, always peacefully, legally. We have that in our country to do. And so I so appreciate your call, and let me know if I can help in any way as well.
Thank you very much. Everybody have a great night.
All right.
And
My pleasure. And thank you so much as well. Thank you for what you're doing as well. All right. And we got 8 more minutes left, and I keep getting more stories. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. This is the biggest Pandora's box. And I accidentally went to Union City because Good Guy Activism said, hey, let's go to Union City. No idea this was here. Well, someone just wrote to me. My buddy owns a business on Bergen Line Avenue. That's Bergen Line Avenue in Union City. And he is scared to call, so I am doing the call for him. Brian asks, this is Mayor Brian P. Stack, asks for donations 4 times a year. And if you don't donate, he sends, this is again all alleged here, he allegedly sends the cops, according to this person, he says he sends the cops to your business to harass you. The donations start at $2,000. And if you ever need his help and you don't donate, he does not help. And then secondly, he keeps a list of people who donate and people who don't donate. That's how he knows whether to help you or not. I mean, for God's sakes, ladies and gentlemen. And I know I'm just scratching the surface. And I thank all the courageous men and women who have come forward to me. And also all the police officers who have come forward to me, both present police officers and past. And I will hold every single person in completely confidential. If you want confidentiality, I hold that in sacred trust. Because here's one thing, and this is something that will basically take away the power of anyone who is a bully, if in fact Mayor Brian P. Stack is. When people start telling him no, and I already know numerous people have started telling Brian P. Stack no. No to doing things that are bullying. No to doing things that are pressuring people to campaign for him or to give contributions. No to things that, if there's anything illegal, no. And the more people who stand up to Brian P. Stack and say no, you're going to be taking your city back. It's your city. It ain't Brian Stack's city. He's created it for over 23 years. He considers it his city. By the way, he's a state senator, and guess where most of the money goes to? He represents Hoboken. He represents Jersey City, some other places. But from what I understand, way more money goes to his little baby, Union City, because it's his city. Well, I got news for you, Mayor Brian P. Stack. It ain't your city no more. No more, buddy. The people are taking their city back from you. And they have been reaching out to me in droves with a singular clarion call, a unified message. No more. They say no more. Enough is enough. They have had enough. I love Union City. I want to visit there often. I want to get to know the people there. I want to get to know the businesses there. It's a golden place. Seems to need a change of government. So, in ending the show today, here, I want to thank again, Farlap. Thank you so much that you gifted 5 Leroy Truth memberships. Thank you so much. And Angry Vet, thank you. Your generosity. And as you said here, good luck with the Department of Justice and any state reps getting involved. Been down that road, and that's why I want to come and help you. I'm down. Find me a nice place to rent. LOL. And Angry Vet, I'm looking for you as we speak. And give me your price range as well. Email me or give me a call tomorrow. And thank you so much. As if it's your business, new member, welcome aboard. And if you'd like to join, be part of the Leroy Truth family. And become a channel member now. And also, AJ became a YouTube member. Angry Vet, again, another $10. Thank you so much. And they are legalized mafia. That's what they are here. And ladies and gentlemen, I love my life. I want to continue doing what I'm doing for a long time. And so appreciate each of you. And again, Mayor Brian Stack, you're on notice. And if you've done nothing wrong, you have absolutely nothing to fear, because I am only looking for truth. I have no personal vendetta. I only want to expose the truth. And with the scores and scores of people who are, many of them desperately coming to me to expose their story, many terrified that they would be identified if they exposed their story. There's something wrong. There's something stinking in Union City. So I so appreciate each of you. And if you want to contact me directly, email me at leroytruth247@gmail.com. It's leroytruth247@gmail.com. And I want to thank John Danicola hugely. I so appreciate your moderating that you've done today. And I want to thank Scalzo Photo, who does the producing, does so much work in the background. Look how magically I just say his name and it appears. His link here. And he does so much work in the background. He does work on editing a number of my videos, also works with Sean of Long Island Audit. And I want to share this before I go. I heard there was an open First Amendment training in Union City Hall this past Friday. And why were they doing a training on First Amendment training in Union City? Because myself and Good Guy Activism went there. Now, something very curious is, why didn't Chief Ficini do the training? You don't have someone, and I know you have police officers who could have done that training, including Detective Haber. Detective Haber could have done that training, and there's numerous other police officers that could have done that First Amendment training. But for some reason, they brought in, from North Bergen Police Department, Captain Raposa. Now, I got to tell you, I went to that training. As soon as I walked into that training, Chief Ficini, the butt boy of Mayor Brian Stack, he freaked out. Oh my God, Leroy is here. He didn't know what to do. I saw him run into a back room. And I could just about guarantee you he called Mayor Brian Stack. What do we do? What do we do? Leroy's here. Do we shut the training down? Do we arrest him? Do I have a police officer put him in handcuffs? And you're going to see this video. I'm going to be releasing it Monday or Tuesday. Then Chief Ficini shuts the training down temporarily, has the trainer, Captain Raposa, come into the back room with him, and they leave for about 2 minutes. Now, this is important. I want to share this. This is very important. And then it seems that Chief Ficini of Union City, New Jersey, is like, what do we do? Should we let him stay? What should we do? Captain Raposa, I hope I'm getting your name right, Captain Raposa. He said, let him stay. Duh. I'm a First Amendment auditor and First Amendment activist and government accountability transparency person. And Chief Ficini, you're going to try to throw me out or have me arrested at a First Amendment training? Because what is the First Amendment about? The First Amendment is all about government transparency. That's what the entire First Amendment is about. Captain Raposa understands the Constitution, respects the Constitution. And I was not arrested. Not only was I not arrested, Captain Raposa interacted with me during the First Amendment training. Not only that, I ended up speaking as part of the training for about 5 minutes and told my origin story of why I do what I do. And I got to tell you, Captain Raposa gave a profoundly extraordinary First Amendment training. I mean, literally, if I were to create a training with all of my experiences, 90% of it would have been Captain Raposa's training. And the other 10% is unique to work that I do that he hasn't been part of. But he is an example of an extraordinary police officer. Because there are good police officers. He is one of them. And I interviewed him for my channel. And just a brief, really, introduction. And he is professional. He taught the police officers of Union City, again, many of them know that, maybe some of them didn't, that me or any of you have a right to record. And if someone's uncomfortable, that's their problem. Their discomfort does not end my constitutional rights. Oh, a police officer wants your ID? Well, did they commit a crime, or do you suspect them of committing a crime? No. You can't ask them for your ID. He literally said everything right. And here's something else. He wasn't blowing smoke. He wasn't saying this because he's getting paid. I don't think he even gets paid to do this. He wasn't saying this because he's trying to get brownie points with Mayor Stack or Chief Ficini. My experience with him is he is one of the most sincere people I have met. And he's done some work with Showing Long Island Audits as well. And we did talk about possibly doing some work together. And I also want to have him on a live stream. So it's great that they had Captain Raposa come from North Bergen Police, but why couldn't they do it themselves? But I'm glad they did, because I got to meet, in every aspect I experienced with him, a really good man. And when you hear the training, I'm going to share the training. I'm going to share highlights, then I'm going to share the whole training in 2 different videos. You're going to be blown away. And ideally, he will appear with me on a live stream to share his training with every other police officer in the country. Hopefully everyone attends, every other First Amendment activist, and most importantly, every person in the world that wants to learn about freedom coming from a police officer who honors his constitutional oath. So with that, I will close this session for today. I so appreciate you staying for this very rich experience, and contact peacefully the United States Attorney General, and I will be including that in the description and the pinned comments. Call and email. And also email me at thearmyoffreedom.com. Join right now. It takes 6 seconds. It's absolutely free. And you will receive an email with specific action items of who to contact, how to contact them, and even some ideas, bullet points, ideas, and what to say if you like a starter. So I appreciate every single one of you. God bless you all. Thank you. Stay tuned for much more. And Union City, I love you. And I want your city to become your city once again. I'm Leroy Truth. Thanks so much, and good night.